You know, the culture here at Aldevron is one thing, but knowing I'm making a difference in people's lives is another. It's just, it's crazy to think that the processes we're working on today may determine how the world will be structured tomorrow. It's a nice feeling of fulfillment.
As you work day by day, you're able to learn more about what's going on, learn more about the clients that you're serving, how these small actions that you're taking in a processing suite directly affect what the bigger picture. And so it's fun to be able to look back at Fargo and say, oh, there's actually this really cool biotech industry in Fargo, and Aldevron's heading the charge. And so it's really cool to be a part of that.
A lot of what we do, we're going to train you for exactly what we need. And a lot of that goes through routine training procedures. So a lot of the processes, whether you're familiar with them, it's irrelevant if you have experience, because we'll make sure that you're comfortable with the process.
So there's always a really big learning curve with coming into GMP just because of the documentation and everything. So I think just an openness to learning how that works is really good, just because in GMP you need to be doing things per SOP, following all the procedures we're supposed to be following. So I think just detail-oriented is also a really good attribute for our team.
The biggest thing is a lot of people I've worked with here think this is a research-based job, and as an operator, you're doing more of the manufacturing. There's a bunch of science involved, but we are manufacturing and not doing so much of the research behind it.
We work with our hands a lot, so people that are good with tools and they're go-getters. They ask questions, they strive to learn why we do the things we do and why some things work when other things don't.
We'll take like the first day or two gathering material, finding equipment, getting all our paperwork together, setting up, making sure everything is wiped into the lab that we need. That way we are ready for processing the following days.
So the very first week I remember being here, it was very daunting. I wasn't used to the half an hour that it would take just to get into the lab.
Within GMP, you have the strict gowning requirements of a lab coat, gloves, glasses, a hairnet, and boot covers.
That's just part of the job. Now that's totally okay. It's gonna take, sometimes it takes half an hour, sometimes it takes an hour, but once you're in the lab, you're in the lab, and then it kind of gets a little bit easier.
One of the other biggest differences is the documentation. GMP processes are very highly developed, they're very well defined, and the instructions for processing are extremely explicit.
Yeah, I would definitely say coming to a GMP environment definitely helped me stay organized and definitely improved communication.
I like to see people who are really driven and wanting to grow in the department and in the company. So just seeing people that want to take that extra responsibility on and are passionate enough about buffer prep that they want to give back to the team by being a leader and by being a go-to person. So I love seeing that in new people especially.
It's different than any other lab that I've seen or been a part of. It's not like a teaching lab or a college lab or a QC clinical lab. It's a very clean lab where you have to be specific and detailed, because if you're not, you're failing the clients who are serving. And so it's different, and it takes a lot of getting used to, but it is worth it the more you work there.
As a basic operator, maybe it's your first month, there's always gonna be someone more experienced in the room that has some of the knowledge to draw upon. Our tech leads are also really good at troubleshooting, so if you don't know how to fix something, there's always gonna be someone to call.
It's a lot of routine. It's a lot of you're doing very similar stuff every day. It's a lot of physical work. So we are making big preps of high salt level or high alcohol or acid quantities. So it is a lot of physical work. So you have to be ready for that, that's for sure. But they call it buffer prep because we are buff. We are all super strong, so.
You can flex.
Oh yeah, big buff department.
So I see a lot of servant leadership on our teams because we all work on the same team. We understand that, okay, this person physically, either can't leave the lab or it's going to take more time for them to leave and get the item they need. So a lot of servant leadership in that regards, because we're all ready to help each other out. Not a tit for tat, it's just a matter of, hey, I understand. I've been in that process before. Let me help you get along so manufacturing can continue.
So a lot of our team dynamic is pretty fun, pretty outgoing people, and I think our team is successful because we care about each other and we care about our clients and doing the best work we possibly can.
It's a cool company. Like, we're doing cool science stuff. I don't know. I didn't know prior to working here that Fargo had a company that did stuff like this. Like, it was incredible, like, finding out that we were working with Moderna. That was like something that blew my mind. I was like, we're like actually making a difference and like actually doing something that's like so important.
The message we're sharing with folks interested in Aldevron, that is a real need and a tremendous opportunity to be in the career of process building and leading people. And a lot of times that means you have to get in and learn the process in great detail so that you can help develop the improvements, and the sky's the limit from there.